Blessings, welcome in. I am Mel. I hope everyone is doing well. So I've been guided to do a collective reading. Not sure where it's going to go, what the topic is, what's the theme, what we're working with. I just trust when Spirit wishes to speak, I kind of just go with it, being a conduit. You just allow the energy to speak. So before we get started, I want to set the intention. It is with my soul's highest intention that all messages be delivered directly from Source. I ask that all messages be delivered with 100% pure light, love, compassion, honesty, truth, integrity, and clarity for the highest good of all. I command that no lower vibrational frequencies be permitted within this space. Only love resides here. And so it is. All right, so let's see. I'm going to start off with an oracle from the Sacred Rebels. See what this wishes to, how this wants to guide us. Let's say, what's supporting us right now? What's supporting us right now, Spirit? I heard ancestors. Okay. What's the energy that's supporting us at this time? Thank you. Conscious connections. Okay. It's a beautiful card. Conscious connections. There's a mirroring here. With the nakedness, there's a vulnerability. Are we willing to be vulnerable in our connections? Whether we're connecting with others, as in humans, if we're connecting with other species, connecting with other beings, are we willing to be reflective and gentle in the spaces in which we are entering? Although there may be an opposite in differences, whether that's beliefs, thought forms, lifestyles, etc., are we willing to harmonize the landscape and spaces in which we are entering? And I say that because we have this gray scale, but there's a touch of color. While this one's looking away, this one's directing its gaze. Why is that? I want to emphasize the braiding here. And the braiding is a coming together and a unification, although we do see some type of, it's not the word I want to use, polarity. It's a 35, which brings an 8, and the 8 is the Lemniscate, the infinity symbol. It's the Mobius. It's a continuous feedback loop of energy. There's an energy exchange between the two of them. Although they seem different in their poses, their demeanors, they are inherently woven through this connection. Interesting. I also want to point out our own reflections? Do we recognize our various aspects, our various personalities, personas, masks, things like that about ourselves? This one seems very confident, while this one seems incredibly vulnerable and shying away. So you see there is a masculine, feminine energy streaming within this figure. But they are engaged in a subtle embrace of their energy. I would say she's very harmonized and balanced in her masculine and feminine energies. And she's comfortable. Releasing allegiances. Release the dark wound. Let love in. Fascinating. So you can see the color scheme and the fish. There's a thread here. Interesting. Releasing allegiances. What do we have allegiances to? Conscious connections is being aware of your connections and who you're connecting with. Where I saw that this is, although this is other, it's a reflection point to her. Going within self, embracing self, knowing that you are other. Others don't define who you are. You do. I want to point out the bees, which are magnificent creatures. There's this golden light that is being brought into this gray landscape. And then the fish transitioning this orange. Working with the energies of the sacral. Again, this is a very vulnerable state of the nakedness. She's learning to self-love herself without the validation of others. Releasing the wounds. That's interesting. As we're releasing what is scaled, what is considered dead or dying, by releasing it into our own emotional waters, it brings it back to life. Let love in. It's a 10 and a 25. 7. So you have an 8 and a 7. There's a descending of numbers. We're going backwards. What else? Anything else? Or is that it from these cards? What am I not seeing? Oh. You can see the bones within the hands, the bones within the fish. There's an energetic signature within this scale. There's a complete transparency developing here. Beneath the skin, beneath it all, we have an energetic signature that runs through our forms. You can kind of see it as a stardust. There's sacred geometry within that. The hands are very prominent. And if you notice in here too, the hands and in which they gauge, they're holding a mirror reflection. But they're poised, they're very gentle. Hands are representative of giving and receiving, releasing, healing. We sense our realities very much so through our hands. She's embracing her thigh and her crown, gifting herself a warm embrace. Okay, so we're going to leave that there on that. Where else do we want to go, Spirit? I'm not sure how that may resonate for others, but if it works for you, it works for you. All right, where do we want to go next? Let's go to these. This is a mixed stack. I've used them before. What does the collective need to know at this time? Living light energy at the bottom. It's a sacred tree. Okay. Compassion. Kuan Yin, sitting upon her lotus, holding the pearl of wisdom, her pearl of wisdom, her divine essence and knowing, sitting, very firm in her knowing, aligned to her center. It is through compassion in which we emanate all the rays. There's a blossoming, a blooming. Yeah. Again, we're back to that energy signature. See these points? Within your connection, whether you work through meditation, mudras, what have you, it's recognizing, again, it's with the hands. What are we creating with our hands? What are we sensing? What are we giving and receiving from the universe? Again, it's back to that bone structure, the transparency, seeing beyond the form, our energy, our energetic structures. This card's very quantum in effect, and he has what you can probably consider a paintbrush. How are we utilizing our energies on the world, on our worlds, in this world, or others? How are we threading and weaving our energetic signatures of compassion and love into the world? Excuse me. Again, this transparency, seeing beyond the form, You can see the electric currents. It's the same energy running through the cosmos and through the earth. And this is the conscious connections and conscious creators of how are we envisioning and creating our world. Yeah. Eternal union. Again, there's that form. See this? They reside within that creation. He's putting his signature into it to give it life. And we have a 1415. Again, the harmonization of masculine, feminine energies. This radiation, this emanation. Oh, interesting. See how they all have these little points of inception, so to speak? Creator, emanation, projection, these waves, these energy waves, they could be sound, vibration, propagating through space and time. Here's your ancestors that we brought up in the beginning. Cosmic ancestors, voice your concerns. Interesting. Intuition. Third eye, wide open, wings. Seeing through the eyes of God, seeing what God sees. God sees us eternally unified. We are an emanation and drawn in his and her light, projecting into other spaces and time through that eye, that source. The great intelligence, it sees all. It is all-encompassing. It's omnipresent. Align your universe. So one, back to the one, the source. Seeing through the eye of God to connect you back to the oneness and all. Change. Walking the middle path, walking in between worlds, walking in between seasons, walking in between. Again, there's that eye. But it's not just solar, it's a mixture. It's an eclipse of solar and lunar. Having one foot in one realm and one in another. Again, third eye. Interesting. Allowing the eye of God to move through you, so that you can see the path unfold That great intelligence is constantly working through you as you create your reality. Hidden realms, create conscious awareness. Being able to see into those spaces and places. Whether that's through astral travel, through that meditation, trance, downloads. It's gifting us the ability to see further, more vast into the spiritual realms, into the cosmos. Yeah, look, astral realm. It's astral travel. Where are we allowing ourselves to go and explore? Dark night of the soul. Interesting. There's a transitioning point. Dark night of the soul was usually the obliteration of everything we knew. There's a passageway of allowing ourselves to enter into these spaces. There's a transitioning. Yeah, look, again, look at this. Gifting us new insight and awareness to what is beyond this world. And we're being called there. Our cosmic ancestors, however you wish to perceive that, they're calling us to really expand and open our minds, open our consciousness. Shield your energy in devas. Look beneath the surface, which is interesting. And the devas relate to the crystal kingdoms. Shield your energy. The frog is the bringer of rain, healing. Knowing that you are protected by both the animal kingdom and the mineral kingdom, crystals, things like that. They're nature spirits. Celestial gatekeeper. Again, we're back to the third eye. This is opening up our crystal technology, our light bodies. Having the ability to tap, to amplify, to record, to see very far. The time capsule, her time capsule, interesting. And celestial gatekeeper. Gatekeepers. Holding the technology within the mind. The crystallization, gifting us access. We're meeting other aspects of selves or soul family, etc. on these different planes, and we're working together. Yeah. Calling the others through our song, through our vibration, through our crystal technology. Between worlds and divine consciousness. This is the, if you want to look, it's the grid systems. How we're all working together and speaking to each other telepathically between realms, between timelines. We're all helping each other through our songs, singing in oneness. Again, we're back to those rainbow rays. These are the rays. This is how we're all working together in higher dimensional spaces, bringing forth this energy and anchoring it here on this physical plane. See, that's the connection. That's the grids. That's like the mycelium network in which we all work through. Fascinating. So if anyone knows anything about Norse mythology, the Yggdrasil, and which is their tree of life, there is an eagle that sits at the top and the snake that sits at the bottom. Wow. So we're having this, there's an access point right now that's opening up for people to work through their systems, their crystalline grid networks, however you perceive it, whether you see it as a tree, whether you see it as a mycelium, whether you see it as just a grid network. We all have these connection points and we're all streaming from the same source, and we're all gifting each other various forms of nutrients, regeneration, healing, and communication. Okay. This is the oneness, the unity consciousness. And we all have access to these. All right, so I would like to close this out. I think that was fascinating and interesting. A little journey we went on. How would you like to close this out, Spirit? Light codes. Travel awaits you. Which is a 6, it's a harmonization. And again, interesting, 25 to the 24. There was a lot of ascending and descending through this to gain access to these grid points. Closing this out, this message is offering you light codes, is offering you activations into your own cellular memory. Yeah. Sound. Sound, vibration, frequency. You have everything that you need. It all resides within you. So I'm going to leave that there. I thank you. I appreciate you for being here. I hope you enjoy these messages from Spirit. I hope they're helpful. Take what resonates. And if it doesn't, there may be another message for you at another time. So I send you all off with much love and many blessings. Take care.